Okay, testing the mic. Testing. There seems to be a big lag. Testing. Okay. Okay. I am hearing myself now, so you should be hearing me. Now, I don't have it open anymore, but I had YouTube open and I noticed a significant lag time between me and the video. So, excuse me if I'm gulping. All right, so in other words, what I'm seeing in StreamYard is more than a few seconds behind what is happening in the live chat on YouTube. However, the footage is obviously faster on my end than it is over there. So we have what's going to seem like a very huge lag time between you guys saying something, me seeing it, and then responding to it. So my apologies in advance. My Wi-Fi is just not very great. That's something to work on in the future. In the meantime, we gotta make do. So, books by ADRIAN merch. It's good stuff. So, as you can probably tell, it's a little bit relaxed and low key tonight. I'm going to play kind of loose with the structure of today's writing sprints. Tonight's, it is a late night writing sprint, so thank you for joining me. I know it's late, but in some parts of the world, it's early, and you might be up for some early morning writing. And in other parts of the world, probably around late afternoon right now. In any case, welcome. We're going to do some writing today. We're going to do some 15 to 25 minute sprints. I will confer with you guys to see what we're feeling lengthwise every new sprint, but in between, we're going to be talking about a particular topic and try to see what it can bring to our writing. So I'm at a phase in my book right now where I'm writing the middle of my novel. And as most of you know, that can often be the hardest part. And a lot of you plotters are screaming right now, talking like, "What are you talking about? You should know exactly what you're doing." And yeah, like we know what needs to happen in the story. But the middle of the book can be so difficult because of the back and forth nature of it, the cause and effect, the action reaction, this kind of dance back and forth that we do with the protagonist, the antagonist, or whatever the antagonistic force is in the story. There's a lot of back and forth and push and pull during this time in the novel, and it needs to be exciting, it needs to be interesting, it needs to challenge our characters, but also not kill them. Excuse me. Necessarily, not murder our main characters, because we need them for the end, right? Unless you're writing Game of Thrones. And so the middle can be really difficult on its own. But then add to the fact that we're writing a series. I'm writing a trilogy here. And I'm uncomfortable even calling it a trilogy anymore, because I have plans for some cool stuff in between, some sooner rather than later. So anyway, I'm writing a series, and as such, I need to make it. I have 3 middle parts to write. I have one book that is technically the middle part of the series. There's the individual stories to consider, and they should each stand on their own and be enjoyable and understandable. However, they are read, but as parts of a series, they also have to tell a grander narrative. You have to balance both sides. I believe I am drawn to this particular challenge because I am what George Martin refers to as a gardener. He's not the only one. Lots of authors use that expression. But, everybody always asks you plotter or pantser. And I prefer architect or gardener. And for the same reasons, obviously, that you have plotter and pantser. The plotter structures everything, plans everything ahead, outlines the heck out of everything, knows everything that's going to happen before it happens, and then writes it. The pantser, the true pantser, sits down and puts pen to paper or fingers to keyboards and starts going and just sees where it goes, where it takes him. The pantser is stream of consciousness writing, which is a wonderful exercise, but it is not how I write a novel. So, but I'm also not a plotter in the sense that most people are a plotter, so that's why I prefer architect or gardener. An architect is a plotter on steroids, and a gardener is a pantser who plots, or a plotter who pants, however you want to put it, but we're the middle ground. And so that's what I consider myself as an author, is a gardener type. And so the way I write my books, my novel, both the individual books and the series as a whole, is I plan the greater story. I plan the whole thing. But I leave room for improvisation and for the characters to grow and to surprise me and take me to new places. Just as a pantser would just kind of let their character unveil themselves to the author as well as the audience, to make these random decisions as they go through and are challenged in different ways. The the pantser author relishes in that sort of beautiful chaos. had a text. So the gardener is an analogy I like because a gardener knows that they're planting a tomato. You know, the gardener knows that through tender love and care in giving of water, sunlight, and nutrients, they could end up with a totally normal tomato. Not bad, not exceptional, just a tomato. Through the very same tender loving care, that author might end up with a rotten piece of crap in the end. And through that same tender love and care, an author might end up with the greatest book in that genre ever written. You know you're writing a fantasy epic or a sci-fi or whatever it is, and you know that, hey, my sis is here. Hey sis, can you hear me? In other words, you know what the end product is that you are going for. However, you could get there any number of ways, and you might discover new and exciting things along the way. Great, she can hear me. Okay, so we are good. I believe she's the first one in the chat. I've just been talking to myself this whole time. Hi, sis. Thanks for being the first in the door. Look, I've got a mug. Did you get a chance to watch any of the Freddie and Orville live stream from yesterday? I know that you missed it live, but did you watch any of the replay? And if so, what did you think? The animations at the beginning and the end stuttered horribly. It's just my Wi-Fi. Yeah. So the beginning and end of the live stream was pretty terrible, but I think the live stream itself was fantastic. And I'm not going to try to do those animations on live stream again because my Wi-Fi can't handle it. Maybe once I upgrade my Wi-Fi, I can start doing that again. It was a neat experiment, but it didn't work out. But what did you think of that live stream? I thought it was a pretty good success. If not for like the lag in our conversations. I kept interrupting them. I felt bad afterwards. And yeah, Johnny, I know that you're lagging. I was saying at the beginning of this video that I opened up YouTube to see, you know, and I posted a comment, and it took like almost, I want to say 2, maybe 3 minutes to show up over here. So the comments are delayed by that much from YouTube to me. And then conversely, my video is lagging by a few seconds to there. So like it's like a compounded lagging today. I don't know what's going on, but you know, it could be my Wi-Fi, it could just be YouTube. I don't really know. See, I'm getting your comments faster on my phone than I am on the computer. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, the animations were a big letdown. I was, you know, I'm waiting for it to, oh, there it is. For those on the rewatch, I did a live stream with 2 buddies of mine who have created a really cool comic on Instagram. It's called Freddie and Orville. It's the video right before this one on my channel. And when you watch it, the opening animation and the closing animation lags horribly and has no sound for some reason. So my apologies for ruining a perfectly good live stream with my little experiment. I tried to make it a little more cinematic, but I won't be doing that again until I upgrade my Wi-Fi, and then I'll try it again. However, the live stream itself, I think, is quite enjoyable. The actual meat and potatoes of it, I'm really proud of. So sis, um, since you're the only one in the chat right now, you're the one I'm going to talk directly to until people start coming in. There's a theme in today's video. Those who go on the rewatch will catch it the first time. I'm probably going to repeat it a couple times. I'm going to be doing this for a while, so it won't surprise me. For you, the paradox of gardening is today's theme, and that's, you know, about my writing style and how I know where I'm going, but I'm surprised along the way. And when surprises happen in my writing, I tend to follow them, and therefore I make adjustments in the outline and all that. And so my novel is constantly like, I'm still headed to the exact same ending, you know, but how I'm getting there keeps evolving. And when that happens, I sometimes have to go back and put foreshadowing into places that I had already written. There's constant course correction as I'm going, and so that's kind of what I'm talking about today. How I know where I'm going, but I don't know where I'm going, and I'm planning everything, but I'm not planning everything, and I'm, you know, editing as I write, but don't edit as you write. Like just the paradox of gardening, being a gardener author. Excuse me if you can hear my gulps. I need my coffee. So I'm doing writing sprints. Uh, I I felt that the first one would be a good one to start off as a 15-minute, just like kind of a warm up. If you are writing something new today, this is a kind of flash brainstorming session. These 15 minutes, it's it's write down every crazy idea that you have. Just go nuts. Find something that you are going to be excited to write about today. If you are not writing something new today, if you're editing, or if you are writing the next chapter of something, if you're continuing something, in that case, this would be sort of a chance to go back through the last thing that you wrote for it, and take these 15 minutes to kind of skim through it, catch little things that you might want to fix, or that spark ideas on where to go, whatever it is. Take 15 minutes to get acclimated with what you're going to write today. And then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll go into our 20 minutes and get a nice big chunk of writing in there. Okay, so I completely forgot that I'm supposed to have a counter up. So I'm going to let the chat sort of catch up to me, I think, during this this 15 minutes. You know, hopefully people start showing up and going back and seeing what it is that we're doing, and then catching up. And then when I come back, hopefully everything will be close enough to live. Let me pull up the timer here. Large countdown timer. Oh, no, that's an actual product for sale. That's not what I want at all. What is this? What? Bear with me, I'm a mess, apparently. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. We're going to go for 15 minutes. How do I... I was so unprepared. I completely forgot that I needed a timer. Duh. That's all right. Gives you time to get your stuff ready. In fact, what are you working on today? Go ahead and throw it in my chat. What are you working on tonight with us? I swear I have the worst Wi-Fi. I should not be trying all this stuff. Well, no, I want a timer on the screen, not on my phone. Countdown design. Oh, I get to pick a design. Wow. Fancy. I don't know what I want. Got it. It's perfect. Okay, event. No, it's just a... What? Oh my goodness. This is for like huge calendar dates. I just want like a regular little timer. I think I got it. I got it. All right, 15 minutes. Writing sprint. I am not going to do an alarm because my family is sleeping. All right. Share screen. This bad mamma jamma. All right. Okay. All right, sis. See you on the other side. Okay, all right. So that is time. I believe it's still just one set of eyeballs. My sisters. I hope she's still here. If you are, what did you get done? I mentioned that I mentioned that as a gardener, I'm constantly tweaking everything, making adjustments as I go. That's because the plotter side of me wants, to be organized as to where I'm going. So whenever I allow things to change along the way, I have to sort of restructure what's coming up next so that it all flows. Um, I have to do that for the novel that I'm writing, but I'm also writing a series. And so the changes that I've been making in the novel that I'm writing are going to make bigger changes across the length of the series. Already, Harley, who was a throwaway character that I put into a scene just because I needed someone for Lear to talk to, is now one of one of the protagonists in book 2. Where her side plot sort of takes her in this novel has surprised me immensely, and I can't wait to take it to the next level in the next book. So, uh, what I'm doing today is re-outlining my series. I spent this first 15 minutes just outlining what I currently have as the most important things about the first book, the things that are molding the story. Um, on the next writing sprint, I will begin outlining what is to come, books 2 and 3. Obviously, I already have an outline to work off of, but in this case, it's very vague compared to the specific image that I have in my head now. So right now, it's just pen on paper kind of stuff. Let's see what we got. So my first brainstorm led to a short story idea, and the second brainstorm was me trying to think of possible meanings for a new name of my character on the special project. Very nice. For those of you who don't know, you don't know because you should know, but my sister and I are working on a special project. More to come. Details to follow. Right on. Okay. So, sis, since you're in the chat, what is your process like? You know, on anything, whether it's a poem or a novel or whatever. If it's different for each, explain. Uh, give me a bit of an idea what your process entails in order to write. How do you do it? What do you like to do? How do you like to do? I know that there's background noise and stuff, and I apologize to the viewer and the replay viewers later. Everybody's asleep, so I need sort of vents and stuff going in the background so that they can't hear my voice, and then I need to sort of whisper and keep it down. Don't want to wake everybody up. For those of you on the rewatch, I've got some really cool stuff going on. You've already seen my mug. Yeah. I would show you my phone case, but this is my phone right here. So I can't show you my phone case, but we do have lots and lots of merch in the store. The link is in the description. I have here a prototype of an art book project that I'm doing for this novel. It's mostly artwork shown on my Instagram. There's a few in here that are not on Instagram, a few exclusives, and I tend to tweak it for every one that I make. Now I make one of these for free every month for the top tier of my Patreon. You guys get one free book. One person gets one free book every month, and there's two other prizes that I do as well. I do a photo tile that you can put up on your wall, and for that one I let you choose what image you would like, and then the third option is a sort of random gift. So it can honestly be anything from a keychain to a poster to a T-shirt. I don't know. It could be anything. A hammock. I don't know. Totally random. Also, for those of us in Patreon, we are doing Children of Blood and Bone for this month's book club. It's actually more of a 6-week book club. And so far, I'm blown away by this baby. I'll be talking more in depth about it after I'm done reading it. I'll probably do a video on it for the channel. So that's something to look forward to in maybe late November. Now let's see what my sister. Let's see. For poems, it's hard to explain. She says right before she explains it. For poems, it starts with an image or feeling, and I try to fill in what fits into that feeling or picture. That makes sense. Other times, I start with a line and try to follow it with what is missing in attempts to find what I was trying to complete. Interesting. That weirdly makes sense. And other times, I know what I want to say and instead try to find a way in which to say it. That makes sense. To convey that feeling. Very nice. For writing, I write in stream of consciousness, looking for ideas until something starts to form, and then I run with it. Okay, now once you start to run with an idea, do you maintain that stream of consciousness for the entire project? Like, let's say it was a bigger project. Let's say it was a novel. Even though our special project is not a novel, but let's say that it is. And you're doing your stream of consciousness and you get an idea and you start rolling with it in your stream of consciousness. At what point are you like, oh, this is a novel? Do you do more beyond that? Do you continue the stream of consciousness? Do you start plotting? What do you do? Because I get the feeling, and I'm only guessing here, but I get the feeling that you might be a gardener like myself, just maybe, you grow, I don't know, cabbages instead of pumpkins. Like, maybe you're just growing something different, so your process is different, but you're still a gardener. If not, if you continue that stream of consciousness throughout, then you're a straight up pantser. So interesting. See, because I'm not an architect, but I'm not a pantser. I can't just do that stream of consciousness stuff forever. I use that, as you do, to find ideas or to, get out of writing slumps. But working on a project, like I gotta plan some stuff out. I feel the need to apologize for my mustache. It's unkempt, unseemly. Look at this. What is this? I got like 2 different lengths here. It's horrible. The Rock would not approve. try to plot an outline in a very loose way so I know where I'm trying to end, and I try to fill in to get there. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. All right. Do you ever go back and re-outline at any point? Do you restructure things as you go, as I do, which is a form of editing as you go? Or do you, once you've got your outline, are you back to, writing off the cuff? Now, ooh, nice and quick. Like, I know a sentence of dialogue, an idea of something that happens in the middle, and what the end result is. And then I wing it to try to fit it together. Yeah, that's very loose gardening, man. That's very loose. That's very free form. It's it's very nearly just straight pantsing. A sentence of dialogue, an idea of something that happens in the middle, and what the end result is. That's all you need. Impressive. Yeah, I can't do that. I gotta know. I gotta know more. I gotta know more. Okay, so I think since it's just us, I don't want to break up our rhythm too much. Let's go ahead and dive back in. We're going to do 20 minutes now. And at this point, you should be writing something, writing. All right. Let's put 15 minutes on the clock. Very nice. Classy. You don't need it to take up the whole screen. Classy. I don't know. Okay. So, I got quite a bit done on that one. I jotted down most of the big stuff for book 2. I still have quite a bit to find to fill it in a little more. I think I am going to stick around and do one more sprint, even though you're leaving, sis, because I want to jot some stuff down for the 3rd book, and then give myself something to, after the stream, work on more thoroughly. I really, really like where Harley's story goes in book 2. I think it's some of the more imaginative stuff. And yeah, feeling all right about book 2. Feeling all right. It needs a little something on the other half, but pretty happy with it. What did you get done before you head out? What did you get done? Didn't get as many words as last time. Ow. I was really on there. Didn't get as many words as last time, but filled the page. I was working on the idea the brainstorm gave me. Very, very nice. I like it. Now, it does appear to me, sis, that you might be mostly a pantser. There might be a few small touches of Gardner in you, but you're mostly a pantser, I think. And I know you got to get off to bed. You have work tomorrow, but thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some work done. And thanks. I want to talk to you about Harley's story. It's kind of a big deal, and I'll see you next time, sis. I'm gonna keep going here for one more, and if nobody comes in while I'm doing that last one, then I'll wrap up with some Gardner thoughts and call it a night. Yeah, let's just dive into it. Bye, sis. Love you. Okay, that's our third sprint. Done. Very nice. So today I was working on the outline for my series, all 3 books, and I feel like I got a really good, solid picture out of this sort of free writing sprint that we've been doing here. As a gardener, you guys will see on the rewatch, and I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I tend to go back and edit as I write. And you'll see on the thumbnail for this video the paradox of gardening, which is you want to plan ahead, but you don't want to know everything. You want to be surprised as well. So you have to leave room for improvisation, room for places for it to go. Hey, welcome, Vixens of Fiction. Very nice. Hello. All right. Sketching for a video. Very nice. Okay. Well, welcome. I've been doing some writing sprints. It was just me and my sister in the chat. She's gone now. Now it's just me and you. Hopefully more people will be coming in. I was about to start wrapping it up, but we can do one more at least and see if anyone else shows up. In this particular stream for sprints, we're talking about the paradox of gardening, planning for where you're going, but leaving room for improvisation and surprise. Editing as you go versus not editing as you go. So for example, if I sit down to write, I'm just writing, I'm not editing what I'm writing. However, if I'm working on a big project, I write a bunch, and then I have an editing day, and I go back and I edit. And I write a bunch, and I go back and I edit. And I'm constantly moving forward, but pausing to edit as I go. You're very welcome. I'm happy you're here. So we are here for sprints, so that's what we're going to do. We just got out of a 20-minute one. I was going to do another 20-minute one here. The idea for today for me is I've been writing my novel for some time now, and things tend to evolve. And so it's been a while since I went back and tweaked the overall arc for my whole series, my whole trilogy. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm sort of re-outlining my trilogy based on all the new stuff going on in the first book. I am going to go ahead and start us on the clock. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about here. You know, some folks tell you not to edit while you write, and that's good advice. Wait until the end, no problem. But everybody does everything a little differently, and part of what works for me is to always have the best version possible at all times. I might have 5 chapters written that are all solid, right? And then I'll write chapter 6. And there was a lot of improvisation in chapter 6. And that took chapter 7 to different places. That took chapter 8 to different places. And before I know it, I have all this new stuff going on in these chapters that I want to make sure are set up properly, foreshadowed if need be. And so after a few chapters down, I'll go back, I'll take a day, 2, and go through those earlier chapters that were already perfect and just tweak them a little bit. Hey, this thing is coming up. Let me plant that seed here. Let me make a nod here or whatever. And then catch up to the new chapters that I wrote, edit them, nice and solid. And then another series of 3 or 4 new chapters. So that tends to work for me. Again, to always have like a clear vision. I'm doing that earlier. Nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started on a sprint here. I'm happy you're here. I assume that you're here for sprinting because that's what's promised on the video. So let's do just that. I still keep an eye on the chat So feel free to say hi when you come in, and I'll say hi too in the chat, and throw you up on the screen. And when we come out of the sprint, we'll talk more. All right, happy writing, or in your case, sketching for your video. Okay, so I was able to fill in all of the gaps that I wanted to fill in on my outline for the series. So kind of like what I was talking about before the sprint, where I like to go back and edit what I've already written because new stuff is affecting it. The new stuff also affects my plans down the road. So I am more than a third of the way through writing my novel, and found that as I had updated my plans for where the novel is going to go, now I kind of need to update my plans for where the series is going to go. Still ultimately ending in the same place, but getting there in a new way. I hope you can hear me. I'm basically whispering. My whole family's asleep. I would like to know what you did during this sprint. I know that you were sketching. Miss Vixens of Fiction. If you would like me to call you something else, please let me know. Just let me know what you got done during this writing sprint. I hope it was productive. I don't know if you were watching, but I got up to look for something, and I was just a mess when I came back. I pulled my mic, my phone battery is dying, all kinds of stuff's going on. So once we touch base with you and what's going down, I want to answer any questions you might have about this whole architect versus gardener thing, the paradox of gardening. I know you came in kind of on the tail end. On the replay, you'll see more of what I'm talking about. But let's see here. I've just outlined book 3 earlier, so I needed to do something different before bed. Very nice. I hope you got something different done then. My sister was in here stream of consciousness writing before yourself. Finished my art, so I missed that. Very nice. Well, we're being productive. It's good stuff. Okay, so I'm trying to make my live streams, whether they are writing sprints or not, I'm trying to make my live streams more rewatchable so that folks will actually want to watch them on the replay. So today I talked a bit to myself about being a gardener style of writer versus, instead of answering plotter or pantser, I prefer architect or gardener, and I'm more of a gardener. I hope that I was kind of hoping to like answer questions about the topic, but hopefully this will get a conversation going. Leave comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on this whole gardener, architect, plotter, pantser thing. And I hope that you can throw this writing sprint on and use it after the fact, even though it's not live. And I don't know if I'm going to make Monday night writing sprints a thing from here on out. It is by far the best night of the week for me to do so. But I understand that it's the beginning of the week. Folks go to bed early. I get it. So go back and forth, she says, but considers herself an architect. Very nice. So in other words, planning everything, knowing every angle, every nook and cranny of your project, always impressive, always commendable. And it's interesting because, I always thought that pantsers were kind of a myth, but I'm finding authors on AuthorTube who are legitimately outraged by the idea that one might develop their character before writing the story. And I'm like, how do you write a story without figuring out who your character is first? Like, no, you figure that out along the way. Like, panthers actually exist, and therefore the complete opposite end of the spectrum, the architect, also exists. I plot in every detail, and I admire gardeners. I will pants when the words are coming to me. I was speaking earlier in the stream with my sister that I'll do stream of consciousness writing to spark an original idea, or to break a slump in writing, break writer's block or whatever. But once I have found the idea, then I go into developing it. That's part of the fun for me, is developing it. So, and yet I long for that that feeling, that rush you get when you're writing, and something magical happens, and you go, "Wow! Like, where did that even come from?" So that's where the gardener aspect comes in. I know what I'm growing, but I'm going to be surprised by it nevertheless. Very nice. Okay, well, we had Sid pop in for a minute during our spring here to say that he couldn't make it. I appreciate Sid showing up just to say hi. Miss Vixens of Fiction, I do believe that you said that you were doing this before bed. I don't know if you're off to bed now. I think I'm going to call it a night on this live stream. The links to my website, my Discord server, my store, and my Patreon are all down below in the description. The teaser trailer for my novel is favorited on my YouTube channel, so if you want to go over and check out the teaser trailer to that. Most recently I did a video on serial killers in my fiction. You can go check that out. I'm really proud of that video. And yesterday's live stream with the creators of Freddy and Orville is also a must watch. Here we go. Plan my characters, but I let them evolve throughout the story. Same here, exactly. I let them evolve, I let them sort of surprise me. One of my side characters who, I didn't have big plans for, all of a sudden developed her own side plot in this first novel, and her trajectory for the rest of the series has now skyrocketed. She's one of my main characters in the second book. She's got one of the most epic arcs of the series. So that's a beautiful thing that can happen when you're gardening. Thanks, I'll check it out. I found the sprint on the Discord. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you. I have my own Discord server and channels. If you want to check them out, again, the links is down below. But you must have been in Keelan's Discord server, which I'm having a lot of fun in. It takes up a lot of my time, so it's good stuff. I will see you in there. I'm going to try to do these on Monday nights for a little while and see if it catches on. Tonight was a bit of a dud, if I'm being honest. 2 people showed up, yourself and my sister, before you. So it may not be the best night to be doing late night stuff, but it's the only night where I can do the late night stuff. So I might try once more, and if it's not too popular, then that might be it for Monday late night writing sprints, but we'll see. I still have live streams Sundays. I live stream every Sunday, and I've got 3 videos coming out this month, and 1 exclusive for Patreon. So check all that stuff out. It's very nice to meet you, and this was actually a fun writing sprint for me. I actually got a lot done. So in that way, it was a complete success. Let me just actually show you. So I started here. I did all that today. I did all that. I did all that. I did all that. That's it. So I got quite a lot written today. I'm very proud of it. It does. It happens. But you know what? Like I said, I got work done. So, success. All right. Thank you very much once again for stopping by. I hope folks enjoy the replay on this. Leave me questions about architect versus gardening down below, or share your paradox of gardening if you are one. And check out next week's live stream Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be interviewing, or at least conversating with, uh, the Polly Pocket, the Polly Pocket, over on Instagram. If you go over to my Instagram, you can find her linked and everything. Awesome. Then I am looking forward to it. All right. Have a great night. Check out my website. Check out all my stuff. Be beautiful to each other. Have a good night.